Ashley had just graduated from college with her MBA and she was very excited to be hired straight out of college. The company she would be working for was a big tech company and the pay was fair enough for the position she was hired for. The only problem was she had to move away for the job and she needed to find a place to live and it had to be affordable. The deadline for her to start her new job was approaching and still no leads on a cheap apartment. All the apartments she viewed were out of her budget. She was exhausted and needed to find a place to live ASAP. Before she continued her search, she decided to stop at a small coffee shop for some coffee. After placing her order, she noticed a bulletin board with all types of flyers. The one flyer that caught her attention was for an apartment for rent and it was a good deal. $1,000 per month, all bills included. She couldn't believe. The best part about it was, it wasn't too far from her new job. Only a 15-minute drive to work. She took a picture of the flyer and asked the barista about the apartment, but the barista had no information about the apartment. She grabbed her coffee, got into her car and called the number listed on the flyer. After several rings, a voice finally answered. The voice was deep and kind of creepy. She felt a shiver on her body, but Ashley ignored it. She asked about the availability of the apartment and the voice on the phone stated it was still for rent. They set up a time to view the apartment and an hour later, Ashley arrived at the address she was given. As she drove up to the address of the apartment, a figure became more and more visible. She felt chills run down her body, but again she played it off, thinking to herself it was her nerves acting up on her. She rolled the passenger's side window down and sked the stranger if he was Greg, the landlord of the apartment building. He nodded and said, "I am Greg, the landlord. Would you like to check out the apartment?" Ashley got out of her car and followed Greg into the apartment building. When she entered the apartment building, a big familiar scent caught her off guard. It wasn't a weird smell but a very familiar one, but she couldn't pinpoint the smell. Greg was pointing out where everything was at, like mailboxes, which doors lead where, the elevator, the stairs, the small round garden they had. He asked Ashley to follow him up the stairs, showing her where the apartment for rent was at.